I want to talk about the effectiveness of branding. 30 years ago, in this room, which is now part of QRi's offices, a plan was conceived to test scientifically the real power of branding. Brands have been an important part of marketing for centuries. However, they took on a new vitality and importance in the 1980s, as many of us will remember vividly. Companies like Guinness, Nike, and Levi began to celebrate their brands in advertising rather than just the product benefits and competitive advantages. Numerous articles and books were written on the influence and impact of brands. However, as far as I'm aware, there's only been one scientifically controlled study to show precisely that brands have real psychological effects on their consumers. This was a study I conducted with Peter Cooper on the analgesic effects of branding in reducing pain from headaches. The findings were published, after peer review, in the British Medical Journal 30 years ago today. The study was conducted as a classic double-blind trial, comparing the effects of placebo versus active ingredient, and branded versus unbranded tablets and packaging. This project involved two manufacturers of well-known analgesics. One provided their product and the placebos, which were identical except they didn't contain the analgesic. The other paid for the research. In this way, we achieved impartiality and rigorous scientific control. In his book on bad science that is used in marketing to flummox the public, Ben Goldacre cited this experiment as a rare example of good science. He describes the experiment as follows. Branthwaite and Cooper did a truly extraordinary study looking at 835 women with headaches. It was a 4-armed study where the subjects were given either aspirin or placebo pills, and these pills in turn were packaged either in bland, neutral, blank boxes or in full, flashy, brand-named packaging. They found, as you'd expect, that aspirin had more of an effect on headaches than sugar pills. But more than that, they found that the packaging itself had a beneficial effect, enhancing the benefit of both the placebo and the aspirin. To be clear, research participants were allocated to 4 groups at random, as shown here in the diagram. Respondents rated the severity of their headache at the time of taking the tablets, and the pain relief experienced after 30 minutes and then 1 hour. The findings were very clear and statistically significant. Branding added 1/3 more pain relief over that produced by the pharmacologically active ingredients in the product. So we can put branding into a context and say it's a highly effective contributor to this product experience, not just a trifle piece of social engineering or group conformity. Branding has genuine effects on mood, well-being, as well as pain relief. Ben Goldacre went on to say, people I know still insist on buying brand name painkillers. As you can imagine, I spent half friends were right all along. Whatever pharmacological theory tells you, that brand name version is better, and there's just no getting away from that. So what do we learn from all this about branding and research? The effects of branding are complicated, as we all know, depending on the relationship that is created between the brand and consumers. But these are not just simple preferences. On the contrary, branding does something to and for the people who use it. In the analgesic study, we found that branding was important in turning an anonymous pill into something that could be trusted and relied on. Branding is real in changing the psychological appeal and relationship a consumer has, which enhances the benefits, satisfactions, and emotional effects of cherished products. What I want to emphasise is that there is a case here for using unusual and innovatory methods in marketing research to reach our objectives. These don't have to rely on powerful neuroimaging machines or mysterious cyberbots, but do require careful and precise assessments of people's experiences and behaviour. Whatever observations and measures we use in researching brands, they should go beyond simple assessments of preferences to examine the consumer experience and the underlying psychology of the effects that a brand has. I am reminded of that simple but clever objective use of projective methods in an American study in which respondents were shown one of two anonymous housewives' shopping lists. These lists were identical. They differed only in the brand of coffee mentioned. Respondents were asked to indicate the characteristics of these people, which were markedly different. By measuring real perceptions and effects, rather than simple opinions about each brand, the research showed clear differences in the social images created for their consumers. As qualitative researchers, we should come up with fresh ideas for exploring the effects of brands, not just attitudes and perceptions about them.